From the high-definition production center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for October 18, 2017. I'm Lauren Harkson.
And I'm Anna Kate Patterson. Thank you for joining us this evening. American foreign policy was in the spotlight on Troy's Montgomery campus as part of the Alabama World Affairs Council Speaker Series last night. Justin Walker has the details from our Montgomery News Bureau.
Terrorist attacks, shootings, and violence. These issues in the United States may seem like they're happening thousands of miles away, but their consequences impact us more than you might think. This was the message Tuesday night at the Alabama World Affairs Council presentation held in Montgomery.
While some of these events may seem literally a world away to us here in Montgomery, Alabama, they're really not. These things affect us, whether it's economics or our families or our just day-to-day existence.
The guest speaker was someone who the council deemed an expert in the field of foreign policy and believed he would enlighten the crowd with his knowledge. Tuesday's World Affairs Council event is one of 7 presentations that will be given throughout the year. And the speaker for this presentation is world-renowned author and speaker Locke Johnson, who says that he came to Troy University's Montgomery campus to give information on what he believes will be relevant in today's political society.
I've been invited by the Montgomery World Affairs Council to come down and talk about American foreign policy. The United States has to live in a world of about 200 other nations. And the question is, how do we get along well with them?
Johnson says that he hoped to motivate the audience to get more involved with his efforts and to think more critically about what they can do to help.
And maybe they'll contact their representatives to encourage them to play a greater role in foreign policy making. So I hope that they think more about where our country's going and how they might play a role as individual citizens who contact the representatives and ask for improvements.
The last World Affairs Council event of 2017 will be held on November 16th. In Montgomery, Justin Walker, Troy TrojanVision News.
And once again, the Alabama World Affairs Council's next speaker will be on Thursday, November 16th.
Landing your first job after college can be a daunting task. However, twice a year, Troy's Office of Career Services offers students a chance to make a first impression with interested employers. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
Around 40 companies have come to Troy University's Sartain Hall Wednesday for this year's Fall Career Fair. The fair, held by Troy University Career Services, allows students to have headshots taken and their resumes reviewed while networking with potential employers. According to Lauren Cole, coordinator of Career Services, networking is crucial for any student looking to step into the professional world.
They need to start networking now. You can't wait till right before you're about to graduate or right before you need an internship. It's important to start months ahead. If it's lowerclassmen, probably for internships, upperclassmen, probably for those full-time jobs.
Several employers said that events like the career fair allow them to evaluate a prospective employee's potential face-to-face, as well as engage with them on a more personal level.
We've got a lot of people that are showing interest in WTVY, a lot of future journalists, I hope, asking really great questions, really thoughtful questions, coming very prepared and professional. I'm excited, and I hope that we are able to find some good reporters out of this candidate pool.
And as for the students, a few said the career fair helped them discover ways to get ahead.
I was talking to Enterprise over there, and they were talking about training me up to be a sales intern management. So that's a lot of good sales experience, and I think that'd be life-changing for a student like me, a business student.
Even though the career fair will not be back until sometime this spring, Troy University Career Services will update students on future networking events through emails and the Handshake website. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy TrojanVision News.
Students interested in having their resume reviewed or practicing for job interviews can visit the Office of Career Services in Eldridge Hall, room 104.
And in what has become a way to get students better prepared for the fair, Career Services offers up an opportunity to get to know some of the visiting employers in a more casual setting. Some employers attending the career fair on Wednesday visited campus a little early to meet one-on-one with Troy University juniors and seniors looking for internship and employment opportunities. Career Services held its employer panel and networking mixer Tuesday evening, where panel members answered questions about building resumes, internships, and employment opportunities. Coordinator Lauren Cole gives an idea of what the employers offering their expertise are looking for.
It really just kind of depends on the student themselves and their resume. So a lot of these companies just want to find good students.
Cole says that it is to the students' advantage to attend the mixer before the career fair because it allows them to make connections and get their resumes in hand early.
They recognize their face, they remember a conversation with them, and it kind of helps them pinpoint them when they're going through that resume and that application to remember, oh yeah, they came the night before.
However, it is important to remember that the mixer does not take place of the fair. Cole explains that even though the early connections that the mixer offers are important, your future employer may not be in attendance that night.
I believe it's still important to go to the fair because there's so many more employers that are at the fair, but it's also important to not lose that edge you've got by coming the night before and seeing them again the next day. So it's really important to go to both.
Any students who want to get to know more about potential employers looking for Troy students can use the new handshake services on the Career Services website at troy.edu/career services. Every popular musician you hear on the radio had to get their start somewhere. And at Troy, one place for that first big gig is with the group Populous.
The music industry program's pop music group had a performance on the quad last night. Vanikia Daniels has the story.
Quite a bit of excitement was stirred up on Tuesday as Troy University's popular music ensemble Populous held a concert in front of Bibb Graves Hall. The group consists of musicians, arts managers, lighting and audio engineers, and even a student record label. Although it was designed for students within the music industry program, one of the artists explains how it's open to individuals of all majors.
And it doesn't even matter if you're a music major, if you're an exercise major, or like a business major, anyone can try out for it. Anyone can come in and you can express your love of music. We do hip hop, we do rock, we have classical music that we play sometimes. So basically it's just a great setting for people that really like pop music, any type of music.
Populous entertained the audience by performing a set list of popular songs as well as a few original songs written by songwriters within the program.
I really enjoyed the concert. I think it was a great blend of like all the popular music that you hear on the radio. My favorite song was the last song, Valerie, because I personally connected to that song and I was just back there dancing to it because it was just like the band was going, all the vocals were so good, and I just really enjoyed that one.
Big things are up and coming for these artists. After a series of recording sessions, they plan to drop their next album and go on tour next semester.
Show's coming up soon. The next thing we're gonna start doing is actually start working on our actual own CDs, own originals and stuff like that. I actually have an original song that's gonna be on the album as well.
This is Vanikia Daniels, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Populous's next performance will be on November 11th at 7 p.m. at the National Peanut Festival in Dothan.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome back to TrojanVision Sports. I'm Sarah Drake. The Trojan volleyball team took a break from conference play last night to take on an in-state rival from right up the road. Brianna Jones has the highlights.
The Trojan volleyball team has taken a break from conference matchups as they hosted in-state opponent Alabama State last night. This game was not easy for the Trojans, with the Hornets being first in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. However, the Trojans stood their ground, getting off on a good first serve and owning the first set. Head coach Josh Lauer says this may have been the best performance he's seen from the ladies this season.
Yeah, really balanced tonight. Probably our most balanced offensive effort of the season so far. So it's a well-coached team that we played. Alabama State is playing really good volleyball. They're probably going to play in the NCAA tournament. So I thought that our girls did a really nice job of taking this match seriously and coming out and playing very consistent. Maybe one of our most consistent efforts of the year. So I was really excited about that. We sat it out at 73%. Probably our best side out percentage of the year.
After After dominating that first set, the Trojans never looked back, taking the second set as well. And on the third set, it was sophomore Savannah Moore who secured the win for the ladies against the Hornets. Sophomore Jenny Young led the team with 8 kills, leaving Cheyenne Hayes, Logan Page, and Moore right behind her with 7 each.
Jenny has done something here over the course of the last 10 matches. I think she's hit over 200, like 9 of the last 10 matches or something like that. So we're getting a lot of consistency out of her, and teams are now scouting her, and she's still continuing to come up big. And Cheyenne's really turned it on here offensively the last couple weeks, and I've really found. I think she's really found her niche defensively as well. She's digging a lot more balls than she was earlier on in the season.
And with this win, it makes 31 straight wins against the Hornets since 1993, and 15 of those wins are here at home. The Trojans will resume conference play as they take on Arkansas State Friday in Trojan Arena. Brianna Jones, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans have a pair of games in Trojan Arena this weekend with a match against Arkansas State Friday and University of Arkansas Little Rock on Saturday. The Trojan football team is set for a matchup against conference foe Georgia State on Saturday in Atlanta. After losing their first 2 games of the season, Georgia State has won 3 in a row and is one of 3 teams in the Sun Belt that is undefeated in conference play. After only scoring 10 points in their first 2 games, the Panthers have totaled 102 in the next 3. They are led by their passing offense that is averaging 272.6 passing yards per game. And head coach Neil Brown says that the Panthers quarterback is playing at a high level this season.
Their quarterback is Connor Manning. I think he may be our most improved player in the conference. He is really playing at a high level. He threw for over 300 yards here last year in the second half, and he's playing at a high level. And you can see his confidence just continue to grow. The receiver Penny Hart was first team all conference as a true freshman. Had an injury last year, and he's back. Had a huge game against ULM.
The Trojans and Panthers kick off at 1 p.m. and the game will be on ESPN3. And from the gridiron to the court, where both men and women will be in action this weekend. The men's tennis team will look to improve this season as they travel to Baton Rouge, Louisiana to compete in the ITA Regional Championship. The tournament starts tomorrow and will end on Monday. And after coming out on top in every draw they participated in at the Mercer Gridiron Classic, the women will also be competing in the ITA Regional Championship, which will also be tomorrow through Monday. Their tournament is being held in Auburn.